This is a simple exercise where you're utilizing Google Earth to do some um, a scavenger hunt. Click in cell A2 to copy the contents, click in cell A2, then do copy, Command C or Control C, and then go to Google Earth. So once you're in Google Earth, hit the search icon and paste in what you copied from the spreadsheet. And we're going to an airport in the Himalayas in China. And so the airport, the runway is rather long because of the thin air of the altitude. So scroll out, and we're going to measure all the way from here all the way to here. And to do that, you use the ruler to the left here. Now it defaults to meters, and you can certainly move this around. It defaults to meters, and so you can change that to feet right here. And starting here and going all the way to the end of this runway, I'll click there. And this becomes a distance of 18,277 feet. And you can copy that. Come back here to where we want you to place the answer, paste that in, and please remove any letters. It should just be a number. The feet is indicated over here. And if you do that right, it'll show up, and that's how you do that. The next one is Media Creator. You also use the ruler. Others, you just go to the coordinates that are provided and copy that, and then go to Google Earth, paste it in, and go to that coordinate, and then answer the question that's associated with it. This is in Italy, and we're near the Porsche factory. If you scroll out, you'll see the ring. It's 8 miles long. It's that ring right there. If you zoom in on it, it's a racetrack, and that's the answer. So on this one, if you just type racetrack, it should turn green. Try to fill out all of these. If you have any issues, let me know. When you do this one over here, you just need to highlight the URL. I'm sorry I didn't make that just that URL. That more info here should have been there. So, and then also another part of the assignment in the other file or within this one is to add some of your own questions. And you can certainly use Google Earth to do that. Or you could just ask other types of questions. So I could say something like, maybe I get a picture of Napoleon, French military leader. And I'm going to use tools and get usage rights of Creative Commons. And let's go with this one here. Let's see if I can isolate that. I'm going to see if I can open this in a new tab, or open image in a new tab. There's the image. I'm going to copy that. Come here where I want to place this person in here, and you can say insert image in cell. And I'll do it by URL. And of course, when Napoleon comes in, he's very, very small, no pun intended. And I don't think he was that short, actually, in his time period. So, let's see here. And so I can ask something like, which country did this military leader come from? And so I pose the question, and I want them to place the answer here. And here's how you do this. In all these cells that I had you answer here before, there are conditional formats that you can place on that, and they're hidden under Format, Conditional Formatting. And what I did earlier was I said, hey, for this problem right here, what's the ring-shaped object? I chose for C17 that if the text contains the word track, I'll mark it with a green background to say that they're right. And that's how I did that for all of these. And under the condition, I'll show you in a moment, there's all sorts of format or conditional statements you can have. So you go to where I want the answer. This is the answer would be France. So I go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and here are all the conditions you can choose from. If you're doing words, I just say text contains. If you're doing numbers, if you're an exact number, you would need to use is equal to. Or like when I had you measure the airport, I put in an is between and it gives you two fields. And I said if anything's between 18,000 and 19,000, I'd mark it correct. Well, here I need the text to contain France. I don't need to capitalize it. I just need to say, hey, this text needs to be there and for it to turn green. So I'll say, hey, turn the background green when I'm done with that. Then hit done. Oh goodness, is there a color scale now? I didn't see that before. Love it. That's new. So anyway, hit done. And looks like I got two of these for some reason. And I'll close that. So when the person takes your part of this, or I will, I'll say, oh, I think the answer is France. Let's see if it turns green. And it does. This works for numbers. I could ask something like, what's the square root of 81? Let's see if it'll work for me here. What is the square root? And we're having some issues here. I'll wrap it. Hello. And I can say something like in here, oh, what number times itself equals 81? But I really want the answer here, okay? And so to do the conditional formatting for that, it's again Format, Conditional Formatting. And here we want an exact answer. So I'm going to say it's got to be equal to 9. And that will turn the cell green when they do. This is a nice, handy trick to share with people. Say you're giving a presentation, and before you even present, you say, hey, at the end of this, I'm going to give you a short spreadsheet where you'll get immediate feedback to say if you were paying attention. We'll ask you some questions, and if you put the right answer in, it'll turn green. Something like that. And you have that file available that you can share with everybody, and they can make their own copy and then kind of mess with it. So, and they'll pay a lot more attention to your presentation if you have that in place. And so that's conditional statements, and I'd love for you to at least do the scavenger hunt part. And if you do the additional work of doing your own questions, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 10, I'll give you extra credit accordingly. If you are turning in something instead of working on doing the extra stuff, that's fine. I think everybody should try the scavenger hunt part, even if just a few questions. I'll give you some credit. So thank you very much. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show was people are asking, how do I get coordinates like this so I can send somebody somewhere and ask them a question? And for sure, you can certainly just type in what you're looking for and have them go there. By Greeley used to have nuclear missile launch capabilities in Weld County about a half a century ago. It got decommissioned. So anyway, this is right out across the way from Promontory Park, a few miles outside of town. And say you wanted to bring kids here, or your question is dealing with this. the missile was actually under this very heavy door that was nuclear attack proof, hopefully. And so anyway, I want a coordinate here. I want to send them here. Here's how you go about doing that. At least this is how I do it. If you know of a better way, please let me know. You notice as I move my mouse around here, the coordinates are living right here. I have not figured out in my pea-brain how to get it from there. Here's how I end up having to do it. You go to the place marker, and it'll turn blue once you click on it. And now it's like, hey, select a location, and this will go right here. So I'm going to say, what used to be under this door to the ground that goes 4 stories down. So anyway, I hit the pin, and if you haven't done a project before, you got to give a project name. I'll just call mine Bob or something. And you hit save. And now that you have a project, it will allow you to put the pin in. I'm going to just call this Missile Park. And down here is the latitude and longitude. And again, I haven't figured out how to select both at the same time. So I'm having to do one at a time. It's kind of a hassle. And say I wanted to put my question down here. I'll zoom in a bit. Come here. Alrighty. So I paste in the first part and maybe go to the formula bar, click, hit a comma and a space. And now I go back and get the longitude and paste that in. And now I have a place to take them. So if I wasn't there and I was somewhere else, say just down the street or back out of the way, we zoom out a bit. There's Promontory Park, Colorado State Patrol, cool. So, Greeley's over here to the left. Right over there. So say we were there. And now somebody's playing this and they want to go here. And they go, okay, well, I copy this and I come to Google Earth and paste this in. And that should take me to Missile Park. Just down the street. And I would ask a question like, what used to be under that blue door? I'm assuming it's blue. I'm pretty colorblind. It looks like a light blue to me, maybe green. What used to be under the light blue door? And the answer is a nuclear weapon, a nuclear missile, an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile. So I think what I'm looking for is a missile or nuclear. I would accept either one of those. So I'm going to put 2 rules in, 2 formatting rules. So my conditional format rules is already open. And the first one would say, does the text contain nuclear? And if it does, I'll turn it a nice green. I can add another rule. And hopefully this is the ones, this is the second one. And I'm going to also add missile. If they do missile, that'd be fine with me as well. And it looks like I have 2 here. I get an extra one. I'm not real good at this. There we go. So what this will mean, I believe, is if you come in here and type nuclear, it will turn green. Or if you type the word missile. Let me get out of here. Okay. Now, what if I type the word missile? Yes, that would also work. So this cell has actually 2 conditional statements that would turn the background green. So it's a way to accept 2 different answers. Well, thanks. Sorry this video didn't get out sooner. And, of course, I won't charge any late fees. Just try to get it in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks.